I was born in South Philadelphia in 1920. I grew up in South Philadelphia. And I had parents that were both mercenary and educational. Well, they wanted their children to be educated. See, my father, because he didn't have an education, he was education prone. Now, but that put pressure on me. So he said, "How you make it out in school?" I said, "I'm doing all right." He said, "Well, let me see your lessons." I showed him the lessons. So he said, "That look like that's finished." I said, "Well, the teacher didn't have time." "Well, she got 45 minutes. What was she doing in all that time?" I said, "She was trying to teach us." "What do you mean trying?" I said, "Well, she was trying to get the kids to listen to her." He said, "Oh," he said, "No more." That next day, I had to look up. There he's standing up there looking through the glass of the door with the principal. So anyway, when I come home, so he never said nothing to me. They never came in the school room. His talk was with the principal. So he said to me, so when I come home, he says, "You're not going back to that school, you know." I said, "I'm not." He says, "No." Because he said, "If you continue to go to this school, you will wind up in the hospital and I'll wind up in jail." He said, "I'm going to beat your head to death if you bring that attitude home to me." The kids was really, there was chaos in that room all the time. So then I went to Southern. And I stayed in Southern till the 11th grade. And I got bored, tell you the truth. I got bored. And a lot of my friends had dropped out and went and got a job, you know. I went, cause they making more money than I was. I said, "I'm not going back there. I'm gonna get me a job." So that's what I did. Anyhow, with that, I think the woman's name was Snyder, I think it was. And she got me this sleep-in job. Told me about the sleep-in job. See, so I took that one. Now, I say to the man, to Mr. Martin, his name was Margolis. He used to have a candy store down at 3rd and Market. So when he came home, you know, ate his dinner, I say, "Mr. Margolis, I can't stay here tonight unless my parents know where I am." So he said, "Well, how old are you?" I said, "I'm 16. So he said, "Well, that's good." He said, when we finish eating, my wife and I will take you home." So after they finished eating, we got in the car. His wife was named Leah. We got in the car, came on down to 2230 Sears Street. This is where I was living. And we come in the house. My daddy and my mother were just finishing dinner. So I said, "Dad, I quit school and I got me a job," because he had always said, "You're going to finish school or you're going to go to work. You're not going to sit at home." I said, "I got me a job." He said, "Sit down, I want to talk to you." He said, "You know, I'm disappointed in you." I said, "Dad, I got a job." He said, "I'm not talking about that." He said, "You haven't learned anything yet. And that's what I'm disappointed about. I don't want you to go through the world as a dummy. I want you to know something about whatever's going on around you and to understand it." He said, "But where you are now, it's not going to work. But I tell you one thing, I want you to keep learning until the day you close your eyes in death, because you will never know too much. And you learn, whether you use it at the time you learn it, it's up there for the time you need it." And I listened to him.